VR Master League. I am your caster, Noman with a 4. I'm joined here with my good friend and co-caster, Sleepy with 2 3s. How you doing, my good friend?
Meow. I'm doing good, Noman. It's time for some Friday night fights here on Onward Master League.
Oh man, you are so right. It's Friday night. I'm jazzed because I'm home. There's no more work. It's all onward from here on out, basically, right? All the way to Monday. And we have got ourselves a delicious matchup for the folks at home. We're bringing you guys Phoenix versus Legionnaires. Oh man, I've been looking forward to this all week. As soon as it came up on the board, I think I signed on to it like maybe 5 minutes after they scheduled it. I'm stoked on this matchup. What are you feeling?
I am very excited as well. I wasn't quite as quick on the trigger as you were, but once I noticed that it was booked and finalized, I had definitely been eyeing it when it was drawn out of the hat on Monday. So then I saw it was Noman casting. I'm like, an early after work cast on a Friday to get things going for the weekend. Said it only feels right. So I am excited for this matchup. Both of these teams looking good, playing very well, finally coming out of that mid-tier ranking and climbing into the top 10 worldwide, mind you, worldwide. And yeah, so yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm just like you, Noman. I am thrilled to watch this match tonight.
Absolutely. So we are waiting on the teams to get me all of the information for picks and bans. I do have one ban right now. I don't know. Do we save it? I think we save it. You know what? I'm gonna break protocol here for just a second on this fine Friday. I know it's crazy. We're just gonna head over to the match page real quick because we can talk about that while we wait for the teams to get all their info in. I'll sick Sleepy on them. Let's take a quick look at the match page. So the two teams, Phoenix, Legionnaires. On the Phoenix side, you've got Gibbs, Zach Fontaine, Mano, Officer Statham, Paz, Rushers, Squigukin, and Sri Lankan. Pretty standard roster for them, I think, for a little bit of time. I think Paz is a relatively... Nope, Paz's been there. What am I talking about? I'm crazy. I'm losing it today. Legionnaires.
Why are you so crazy? Crazy. Why are you so crazy?
Legionnaires roster is Kitten Mittens, DMT, L Vegas, Mr. Meowgi, Raider, Zarek, Kagan, and Mr. Sirius. Pretty solid lineups. These have been around for quite some time. Obviously, there's been a few new additions over the seasons, but I want to really quickly just talk about, I can't put it up on stream, but I do want to talk about, this is their first matchup since Season 4. It's the first official VRML matchup since Season 4, yeah. Interesting fact, Legionnaires has taken every single game from Season 2 to Season 4 that they had played, 4-0 in their favor. The score lines were always relatively close, though, so I think we're definitely going to be getting a good matchup this time around. They were always within, like, I think 5 or 6 points of each other. And sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, both teams putting in the work, a lot of improvement, a lot of roster changes, though, since Season 4 when they last met. So it's hard to tell, really, nowadays. I mean, that's 3 seasons ago, Noman. They haven't met each other since Season 4. Doc, and we got to work on this. Either that or their MMR difference has just been that vast where you just don't get matched up.
Yeah, I mean, interesting note as well is that their map all-time history is actually relatively similar. So they tend to play the bulk of about the same maps, and they generally have about the same win-loss ratios on all of them. Obviously, that's all-time, not including including their matchups, but including other matchups as well. So yeah, really even, well-rounded teams. Obviously, as Sleepy said earlier, in the top 10 currently in the season. Matchup between 7 and 8, Phoenix being in 7th and Legionnaires being in 8th place. So we should be seeing one of those real tight matchups. If you guys tuned into that SBD Mob Squad match the other day, that was a perfect matchup. We got a great game out of it, and I'm expecting the same stuff to happen here. And with that said, let's just jump back into the war room real quick, and we'll talk about the bans we do have. So far, I think we have still only...
We have both.
Oh, we do have both. Perfect. All right, now we can talk about the bans. So the bans coming out of Phoenix is going to be Cargo. Cargo's the map they're not playing, and Legionnaires responded with a ban of Quarantine 1. So those are the two maps we're not going to be seeing today. Any thoughts on those two bans? Anything sparking your eye there?
I'm not really surprised. The only thing I'm upset about with the bans is that they're both really great matches, both for casters and for gameplay. Cargo, obviously a very high-paced, fast-mapped, and then Q1, a great map just overall, both in layout and in terms of casting for us. So I really hate that Q1's not on there, and Cargo's always a great map to kind of start out with. But we do get a great map to start with. Noman, I don't know if you've made your way into the lobby just yet, but we do have our first map as well, and it's always a good one to start with. It's going to be Bazaar. So I'll take back I won't even worry about the fact that we're not going to see Q1, because at least we get Bazaar.
Yeah, absolutely. Bazaar is the choice. We are in the lobbies just waiting for the rest of the teams to file in. We're waiting on, a couple of members of the Legionnaires to jump in. But while we're waiting for that, let's talk a little bit about the matchup here on Bazaar. So I'm going to throw a couple of numbers at you. You can choose to ignore them. But what I have to know what you think about this. So currently, both teams have played Bazaar in excess of 30 times, right? All time, as far as VRML recording goes back. They have both won almost identical amounts of those matches. So about 57% of their matchups they have won on Bazaar, both teams. What do you think? I mean, who is going to win out here? Because Phoenix has got that sort of that mid-rangey, like, can be aggressive, can be slow play style, and I think Legionnaires definitely falls into the camp of slow and methodical. What do you see coming out of this? I mean, I don't want to ask for a prediction, but I do want to know, like, sort of what you're feeling here, what you think maybe a scoreline would be.
I was just going back and looking through the Legionnaires' match history for this season, and they have had, I was thinking they really haven't had many of, like, the heavy hitters to have gone against this season, but that's not true. They have played Globochem, they have played SMC, they played G-Men, they played Blaze, so they have played, 4 out of the 5 top 5 US teams, so their schedule hasn't been a slouch. And Phoenix, as we've all seen this season, they've beaten some pretty good players. I mean, they did take a win against SMC, which is saying a lot. So I think it's really anybody's game, but I feel personally I'm going to lean to the side of Phoenix.
All right, giving it to Phoenix. I think it's going to be a tight score line, though.
This map,
not
the whole match.
No, yeah. Obviously, we're just talking about Bazaar here, but I did want to get your feelings on it.
Sure.
You know what? I'm actually going to go. I'm going to create a little bit of Discord between us. That's a shameless plug. And I'm going to say Legionnaires is going to squeak by on this one. And the reason is, Bazaar is a really technical map, right? It has a lot of different avenues of approach to objectives. It's got a lot of different, it sort of supports a lot of different play styles. And it requires a very intricate knowledge of all positions possible when making an approach. And I think Legionnaires, they sort of have that technical style of play, right? Where they utilize the spots that are make it difficult to see them or make it difficult to combat them, and they sort of get those picks, and then they push in towards the end and try to make those caps happen. And I think Bazaar is going to support their playstyle a little bit more, but obviously the numbers really don't support either of our thesis. I mean,
it's a total crapshoot according to the stats.
Yeah. So we will see where we're expecting here, and I'm gonna say maybe there's gonna be a 3-2 situation here. I'm not gonna say for which side. I'm gonna say we're gonna get into a 3-2, and I think it could be like a cap swing. So offense might need a cap. Yeah, that would be a really good one. So that's what I'm gonna predict here for this first map. But we do have all players in the lobby. We are just waiting on the remaining members to ready up. I believe they are doing their strategies and what have yous. But we are going to be diving into this real soon. I do want to thank everybody in the stream, in the chat, for hanging out with us on your Friday evenings. You've got pretty much infinite choices for entertainment when it comes to the internet. We're super happy you guys choose to spend it with us and hang out and listen to us, basically just shoot the shit about Onward. It's a good time for all. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to make as many clips as possible for all the cool stuff that happens. Sleepy is personally, gratified by those clips. I think it's his sustenance, food, water, and clips. But they use those for the VR Respawn shows that we do every week, and we use them for other things in the league all the time. And yeah, we just love to see that, support your players and all that good stuff. But with that, I don't have to drone on anymore, and now we can get into all of this juicy action as soon as I can get my camera out of a palm tree. There it is. Camera's out of a palm tree. We are going into gameplay. Round 1, map 1, Bazaar, Phoenix versus Legionnaires. Legionnaires on defense.
That's right, Noman. Map 1, it's Bazaar. Phoenix is on the attack. They're going to start in the northeast corner. Or, I'm sorry, the northwest corner. I got my compass backwards there of the map. They're going to start sending 2 east. Well, meanwhile, 3 will continue to push down the western side. They're probably going to look for a pick and possibly a cross in the west. Legionnaires, no slouch, though. It seems that they're actually very west-heavy defensive right now. They're almost not even looking for any sort of eastern push, and that might come back to bite them later on in the round. But for now, they're focused entirely on the west.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And there is 2 members of the Phoenix offense that are rotating around to the northeast side. And quickly just jump over to the giant map so you can see that they are coming down that east side. And there really is no defense set up to watch them aside from the 1 member there in the objective building watching out towards the east. But Phoenix running a little bit slow on the west side, likely just waiting for their team to set up. And we'll see if they can coordinate this push well. If they can cross on both sides at the same time, or at least make noise on both sides, it's definitely going to throw the defense for a loop. Cause some rotations.
Yeah, you got that right. And Gibbs appears to have seen somebody making motions at the windows near the objective building, because there was a call out from him of the objective building, and now we're seeing smokes building up here in the west. It looks like the western team is going to be trying to make their cross, and a pretty decent line of smokes, actually. Only a very small hole covering the street, but they're not going to be aware. Kagan, formerly of Animal House, going to be sitting in the west watching the street push, and he does find one. El Vegas finds rushers as well. Phoenix able to take down a member of Legionnaires in the firefights. Officer Statham able to find Kagan and push him back. He doesn't find the kill, but he is able to get him off the objective, and now it's a 3v4, and Statham and Kagan are just 20 meters away from each other.
Yeah, they are very close, but we did get a few members across on the east side. Paz is actually all the way back here in the south spawn for Legionnaires. He was able to make quite a bit of headway here. So the question really is going to be, can they find an approach from the south and the west at the exact same time and cause enough confusion on the defense to force out a rotation? Now, it looks like Raider is going to be rotating out, but the shots ring out from Paz do finally land and find Raider on the backside of the objective, and now they've evened it up to a 3v3, but this is causing Kagan to rotate back towards the spawn side.
Yeah, and Statham missed a push. Missed an opportunity at a free kill on the Legionnaires. I believe it was, well, it might have actually been Raider as he was pushing into the building before he was killed by a member of Phoenix.
One Officer Statham should have just seen Kagan. They did spot each other, and the trade comes out. Statham is going to finish off Kagan, but he will be revivable, so now Paz might be able to find a little window here and rotate through. If Vegas is vigilant, Vegas, he is going to catch him as he crosses.
Yeah, and here comes the cross now. Will he make it? Yes, he will. Vegas not looking at the angle. Actually, quite possibly doesn't have the angle on that corner from where he sits. Now he will. Sitting in the end of the room, but he's going to have to be careful because they're going to be able to see him as well. That black suit against that chain link fence, not as blending as you might think. Paz is going to find Miyagi, and now it's all up to Vegas all by himself. If they can manage to keep his attention over here, Squigookin over there can actually sneak his way onto the objective. He's got 2 minutes. Hell, he could prone his way there and get the cap right under the nose of Vegas. Vegas finds Statham as he pushes out from cover. Paz is going to try and be a bit more cautious. He knows where the shots came from. Some suppressive fire rings out, but no connections are made.
Vegas is just waiting for Paz to make this mistake, but Paz is able to find the headshot a little bit faster than Vegas is, and Phoenix is going to find themselves a nice little Marsoc win right off the bat.
Yeah, and I have to give it to Phoenix. That was a great play through and through. The only mistake I'd say they made was not anticipating someone in Kagan's position where he was able to pick off one of the Western crossers in that smoke off. They popped a great number of smokes. It was really effective smoke. It blocked out the whole street from the objective building, so they were all able to get across. But they have that member down there in the southwest corner that they didn't account for. They lost a man there. Granted, they were able to push him back and ultimately get rid of him. But overall, a great push from Phoenix. And yeah, I think Legionnaires would have done better to have just a bit more focus in the east and not just focus only on the south. You know, you might know where they spawn, but that doesn't mean that's where the entire team is going to come from. So always be considering that. And I think Legionnaires would have done a little bit better. It might have actually swung their way had they been prepped for that south and eastern push.
Yeah, giving up the east like that is always dangerous, and it's a question that a lot of teams that I've played against and talked to struggle with. It's hard to split up your defense so wide on an objective that can definitely. I mean, honestly, if you split it up too wide, you run the risk of losing, you know, the one or two that may be on the objective, and then just having people cross direct center and just get right to the. You know, I've seen people cap this in 20-30 seconds. So it's always an interesting gamble to split your defense like that, but to leave the east wide open was definitely not ideal for them in that situation, and they were in the end punished by that south approach. So we'll see here what Phoenix is able to do on their defensive stint of this objective. Players did just ready up, but we are just waiting now. Yeah, there's the actual start. Give them a false start penalty. 5 yards. They have to start 5 yards back from where they. Yeah, that's not a thing. It doesn't work like that. Don't at me.
You get the slow spawn.
All right, we are in now to round 2. Phoenix looking to defend after taking a very nice little Marsoc round.
That's right, and Legionnaire is going to get the same exact spawn that Phoenix got at the start of the last round, so it's going to be a damn near mirrored round down to the exact spawn. Let's see how Legionnaires utilizes it. It seems that they're going for a very much Western-centric push. Kind of seems to ring a bell to their defense. I wonder if they just prefer tight squad net tactics, keeping everyone as close together as they can, able to kind of get the refrags. So if you look at their spacing, and as Raider gets picked up there by Rusher Z on the west, they are in positions to be able, or should be able to get the refrags pretty quickly, but it does appear, you know, if you're not in the right spot at the right time, looking at the right angle, you could miss the chance of the refrag. But let's see if Mr. Miyagi is going to be on the lookout for rushers here. It doesn't look like it. The smokes are coming out in the western street. Rushers should be repositioning here at any moment, waiting for another member in the west. He's going to throw a smoke of his own. But Mr. Sirius over in the western mini courtyard, he's looking for rushers. He knows the shot's ringing out. He does find him. And that's going to even things up. Legionnaires have effectively reopened the west side.
Yeah, now this push across the street is going to have to happen sooner rather than later. They need to not fall into the trope of using a smoke and then not crossing in it, and it does look like they did get 2 members.
Nice patch-up smoke there, too, from Mr. Sirius as he runs across.
Yeah, they're going to have to now deal with Squigookin's position on the backside of this building here in the courtyard, but he is going to rotate out at possibly the worst moment.
The worst moment, yeah. Easy to say for us, of course, with caster vision, but yeah, unfortunately for him, he could have possibly found 2, if not at least 1, before going down himself. Now he's watching a completely different angle. He's back inside the objective building. Makes you wonder if maybe they should pull Gibbs off the south there and bring him a bit closer to the objective, because even though they've got 3 members somewhat close to the objective, it's still kind of open. There's a lot of holes in that where you can make it through at the right placement of smokes or even a frag and a flash. You could definitely make a hole and get right in there and get that cap still before Gibbs could react.
Absolutely. They do still have that 1 member of the offense in the southeast corner. That's Vegas in the blue room across the street of Bazaar as well. He's able to cause enough confusion early on. It could give this offense a chance at getting inside this building, or at least on the side of the building. Squigookin's kind of in a position where he's not really watching that side of the objective. Only Paz has eyes on that. But now we are starting to see this approach through the south.
Oh, Miyagi and Gibbs find each other. I was trying to get my camera over there before it engaged, but I couldn't get, just missed it. So Miyagi does find Gibbs in the south, and now the south has been completely compromised. Phoenix is basically now, or I'm sorry, Legionnaires have essentially now surrounded the objective. All they need to do is get their man in the west. Ooh, and as I say that, Officer Statham finds Mr. Miyagi and shuts down the south. But still some great positioning still from Phoenix. They have, or from Legionnaires. I keep calling them Phoenix.
Kagan should find Officer Statham here. He should be seeing the gun sticking out from that corner, and Statham makes the peek and is punished for it.
Can he turn two? Will he get the drop in behind Squigookin, or be able to get the drop in and get the guy in the blue room across from Squigookin in order to help his team secure that objective area?
Now, at this moment, Vegas needs to be moving up. His position there is not entirely useful for the offensive push. He's not going to get eyes on really anybody aside from potentially Squigookin if he rotates into that north-facing room. It's not very likely at this point. If Kagan stays quiet enough, not sure how quiet you are when you drop off this building, but then he'll just have to deal with pause. There he is. He's inside the room now. Just a thin wall separating the two of them. C4 detonated, but no love, and Kagan is going to catch him on the rotation in the blue room, and now it is down to just Squigookin, but Vegas unfortunately finishing off his teammate there. As he comes in, Squigookin's going to find Vegas on that approach, and now it's a 1v1. Mr. Sirius rushing up towards the objective. Squigookin checking the outside to ensure there's no cap happening, but now he's going to check his equipment, and Mr. Sirius is going to find the headshot on him, and Legionnaires are going to grab themselves a Marsoc round in response.
Wow, great play there from Legionnaires, and I mean, a great attack overall. I mean, both teams executing very well so far in this map. Of course, you did have the one mistake there from El Vegas there at the end where he took down Kagan, who was leading that charge quite well. Kagan actually could have you know, he could have gone for sliding back out that back window and pulling his tablet out and maybe trying to go for the cap outside, because at that point in time, Squigookin was laser focused out that door of the room that he was in. He was kind of waiting for the person to come through that door. So had Kagan backed down and maybe pulled pad, he might have been able to go around outside near that cardboard box near the objective dish and get the code in. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all because of a team kill that we won't ever get to know.
Yeah, and that's sort of the problem with lagging behind your team. That way, when you get that close to the objective, it's really difficult to, you know, radio in positions or changes or adjustments on your, you don't want to give your own position away just to let your team know where you are. So if you're not engaged in that push and you're not close enough to, you know, maybe at least have your tablet identify friendlies, things like that can happen, and that right there was a textbook example of that. But they were able to recover it there, Mr. Sirius. A very nice little position change and a stroke of luck, I'll say. A little bit of luck there, and Squigookin having to check his equipment. Likely, I guess I'm going for a grenade, but not sure where he would have put it. But yeah, that is a fantastic set of Marsoc rounds, and honestly, the exact opener I wanted for this series. So,
yep, showing some good promise for this evening's matchup, that is for sure. 2 Marsoc wins in 2 rounds. Not something you see every day. I'd expect that to be 2 Volk rounds within 2 rounds of the game start, but no, we've got it flipped on its head. It's a Freaky Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see all those biddies, all those clips. We've had some pretty awesome plays so far. Nothing blockbuster amazing by any means, but some pretty awesome plays. A lot of interesting attacks coming in from both teams and successfully executed, might I add.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was very excited about that that double smoke push on the east and west side. That kind of coordination really gets me hot and bothered for Onward action. Yeah, that's the good stuff. I had that camera set up in a nice little way you could see both of them. Oh, it's really gets my engine going. You know what I'm saying, Sleepy. You know.
Get a motor running. Get out on the highway.
There it is. Why pay for Spotify? Just Just join Onward Master League and Sleepy will sing to you.
Exactly. Join Onward Master League, get Sleepy in a DM or a voice call, and let him go to town on your ears, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sleepy's Greatest Hits, available to you now on Turner Life Music.
Please never go to town on my ears. We are now jumping in around 3 as a nice segue. We did get that west spawn from Phoenix. Early shots coming out from Raider. He's gonna find himself two very quick kills there. Rushers opening this offensive round well, but Miyagi's gonna answer back with 2 of his own. And it's a 3v3. We're not even 23 seconds into the round, folks. Rushers.
It's a two for 2 into a 3v3 for you and me.
Wow. I think we need to just...
Yeah, I had to interrupt you just to say that.
Thanks.
FYI.
Thanks, buddy.
Why?
Rushers now looking for Miyagi, so the 2 that found 2.
That could be good.
Looking for each
a nice
other.
bounce.
A little too short. The grenade's not gonna land, but it doesn't matter because he's gonna find him rushing up the stairs. Tucked into the backside. Rushers absolutely on fire, living up to his name as he finds 3 within a minute of round start. Let's follow Rushers for the duration here. I think this is what we need to do.
He's pretty much been the play thus far. I mean, he's been the only one getting the kill so far for Phoenix, isn't that correct? He picked up 2 in the start.
Correct.
Then he got a 3rd one on the refrag for his dead homies. Then he stopped to pour a little out.
And grab a little bit of
gonna
equipment.
leave his weapon on the ground.
Oh, he grabbed additional ammo and weapon there. So
He switched out for a Volk weapon, I see.
it's an interesting strategy as well. If you're playing against players familiar with weapon sounds, using a Volk weapon as an offensive player can be a huge advantage.
You have 100% accuracy in that statement, Noman. It is a smart strategy to use. You don't get to see it happen a lot because a lot of times you really don't have the time to go through and loot through your enemies and pick up their weapon and enough ammunition to make yourself through, especially if you kill someone early in a round. You definitely don't want to be sitting there spending time dumping out your magazines to replace with theirs, and you know, that eats up a lot of valuable time. So you don't see it used very often, but it is great to use, especially in the large maps like Downfall or Bazaar, where people could be literally anywhere. And as I say that, Vegas pulls a move only a magician from Vegas could make. Man, I cannot speak right now. He gets a nice pick, but seems like Officer Statham heard that, but no, Officer Statham's going to run right by him. Statham's moving his way towards the objective, and I think he was completely unopposed, but instead he's going to go for the cap upstairs. Yes, he does. He has tab out. He is upstairs in the corner getting the tablet, trying to get the cap. I think you have to actually be on that balcony to get it. It's very dangerous, a very exposed spot here, and it's going to be tough for him to get it without clipping into some piece of geometry, but it looks like, yes, he is getting the code in there now. In Phoenix, they could be jumping up here by 2. I think he keeps just clipping into something, and he can't quite get the code in. Maybe he's found the sweet spot. I'm eventually going to be right, and he might actually cap this at some point. And there it is. He finally gets the cap in, and Phoenix take 2 points with a cap on to Legionnaires, going up 3-1 here on map 1. Wow, Noman.
Wow, indeed, Sleepy. Wow, indeed. Less on the cap and more on just how long you really committed to that he's about to cap it. I really enjoyed how long that went on.
I was holding out for him. I was like, don't let me down, Gibbs. Don't let me down. Cap it quickly. But I didn't want to give up on him. I wanted to keep my energy up while he finished his cast or his cap. So hopefully he could feel that energy and get it done faster. But apparently that was not the case.
Oh, don't let me down, Gibbs. That's what happened there. He did not let us down. He got that cap off after, finding that sweet spot. We were just talking about that, actually, I think on the Mob Squad SBD cast the other day with Nightfire. And, we were just discussing how some teams are aware of that position and others are not. And you can see a prime example there of Legionnaires not being...
team that was not.
Yeah, not hyper aware of that upstairs cap position, though they now definitely will be. And, I can't say that it really is even the fault of not knowing that position. Vegas there, not able to hear the rotation right next to him. I just can't believe he couldn't hear the footsteps as that player ran right past him and got in behind Kagan there. So, I mean, it was a great play on the Phoenix side and maybe a bit of a flub on the Legionnaire side. But, I mean, if trends ring true here, we should be seeing another offensive win from the Legionnaires.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, I'd love to see Legionnaires come back with a cap of their own and we just see, like, exact mirrored scenarios go back and forth all night. That'd be a really interesting cast. It would be definitely a Freaky Friday, that's for sure.
Freaky Friday night fights.
Freaky Friday night fights in a fish tank.
This cast has gone to hell. We are seeing mirrored spawns on the Legionnaires side, so they are going to be making similar approaches. Miyagi and Kagan taking that east approach like we saw Phoenix taking, and Vegas and Mr. Sirius are going to be approaching the way that Rushers and who was that came up through the center? I can't remember already, but they are going to be taking those two positions up as they push through the center. And a little smoke coming out there. Raider looking across this, or set himself up here in the middle of the start. I've never actually seen somebody utilize this position here by the center Humvee. I'm not sure what kind of visibility you're likely to get, but he has now made it into that position. Take a quick look at the overhead map as the offense gets set up. So we are seeing two members in the center here, and we're seeing two on the east. One is unfortunately not on my mini-map. He is... Wow, I cannot find him. He just disappeared. He's gone. Oh, they're over here. Yeah, Vegas, Sirius, and Raider here.
Yeah.
There they are, folks. We found them. The mini-map is betraying me very,
and
very
Legionnaires,
much.
definitely not with the same pace as Phoenix. Last time we saw 4 kills in the first 20-some seconds. This time, not even the first shot been fired. And we're almost a minute and 20 seconds in. Or we're over a minute and 20 seconds in now. Do math, Sleepy. But they are coming in close. They will have all 5 when they are set up to make their push. Let's just see if they can get all of their men into their intended position. Mr. Miyagi and Kagan here in the east. They'll be running into a defender on the northeastern street here very shortly. Depending on their route, of course. But if they can take him down, that'll help open up both the northern street and access into the eastern courtyard, which will be big for staging the attack onto that center kiosk building.
Absolutely. Miyagi's approach here is the one that's going to catch Rushers out.
Oh, he should be able to see his foot. Yeah, there it is. Miyagi does see the foot and shoots him right in the boot. Root in the boot.
And now that northeast side is going to be a very great entryway for them. The only one else covering that approach is Squigookin, but Paz is going to find El Vegas as he makes his way across the street. Now he's going to be taking fire from Mr. Sirius, who is likely aware of that positioning. I'd be surprised if we don't see a nade come out onto this position. Nice little defensive nade there. I almost missed. Shots ringing out. Smoke's now out onto Paz's position. Trading shots back and forth. I don't think they know exactly where the other is. He is keeping an eye on him very closely, but still tucked in, still committed to watching the objective from this center position. It's just such a strong position to make sure nobody gets in. I think a lot of teams will take the risk to put a player there. Because even if you get down with a grenade, it's a great sentry position. It allows you to not force rotations out. Raider is going to find pause and then get that confirm out. Shots coming out from Gibb towards Raider's position do not land. And now we're seeing the smokes come out from the offense in the north. Kagan tossing a few out. Try to create some cover for a potential approach here.
I keep watching Mr. Miyagi, wanting him to just push in because Gibbs was so distracted upstairs. He could have pulled an Officer Statham or a Gibbs and slip right in there and get the cap, but no, he's not quite ready for that push. And now Gibbs has moved downstairs. If they can get into this other stairwell like they did with Phoenix, here comes Gibbs around the corner. Now Kagan and Gibbs miss each other. Kagan is able to find him. Here they come now. 2 members of Phoenix are now on top of the objective, and Mr. Miyagi is also going to Mr. Sirius is going to find Statham. Squigookin's going to stop the push, but Raider will grab Squigookin, and Legionnaires do grab their Marsoc round to answer back to Phoenix They just don't get the cap to even the score. So we're 3-2 here on map 1.
Oh, yeah, baby. Feels good to be right. Who called that 3-2? Which one of us? It was me. I called that 3-2. A great play by Legionnaires. They are picking up that offensive win. Really, everything just came up the way they needed to. They were able to get around that defender on the northeast side, get somebody across on the north very early. Found themselves a nice set of picks in that center courtyard, avoided a few bullets, and yeah, made it happen. That could have been a cap if there was a little bit more trigger discipline on the side of, was that Mr. Miyagi that got that final kill? They might have actually been able to punch in that code, but Squig was definitely likely going to be rotating back towards the objective, so who knows, but they did get the win, and now we are into a 3-2 situation. Legionnaires looking to grab a defensive win here.
That'll be big. If they can get it and then manage to attack successfully, they could come back and take this round underneath the nose of Phoenix. But if they are unable to successfully defend this objective, map 1 will be over. However, then we'd be moving into their map pick, so maybe it will work out better for them. This is, of course, Phoenix's map pick, so Legionnaires putting up a hell of a fight on the map that they did not even pick into.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this would be the first defensive round to win if they do get it.
Yep.
So far, it has been non-stop Marsoc rounds for both teams. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, this could... Oh, this is kind of a strenuous situation, right? You constantly keep winning on Marsoc and you can't get your defense going. This is the time, Legionnaires. This is the time to get your defense stacked and ready, and the objective is going to be good for it as we dive into round 5.
That's right, Noman. It's round 5 on map 1 here on 109.7 MRSC, the Marsoc.
It is indeed. The radio station is overplayed.
I'm an idiot.
By the way. We are seeing that textbook Phoenix aggression, Squigookin making his way very quickly towards this northwest courtyard, where he is going to find no shortage of Legionnaires members.
Yeah, he is going to have some work cut out for him, but Kagan needs to be careful about how careful he's pressing up against that wall, because I was seeing a bit of body coming through, bit of booty coming through that wall there as he was pressed up against defending.
See, what's interesting here with this defense, and I'm just going to take a quick overhead look while the rest of the offense gets set up, is that they are nowhere near the objective. I mean, that north side is just wide open for somebody to run through. I think there's one member watching.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas up there is laid up. But I mean, honestly, you lose that one, and what do you do? How do you cover it? Really difficult. Unfortunately for Phoenix, they're not going to get to experience that, as they do lose their main offensive member on the north side. Squig now looking for Kagan here. Be able to find him. There it is. He grabs himself that kill, evens it up to a 4v4, but now he doesn't know this, but there's 3 other members within spitting distance of him that are definitely aware of an offensive member here. He does smartly rotate out of that position, and now Rushers is going to be approaching from the south side.
Paz also coming up the steps here right above Mr. Miyagi. Will he take the chance and peek it to check? Will he toss a preemptive grenade over the ledge to make sure no one's in the hole? What will he do? Inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, at this point, you have got to, yeah, absolutely.
Here he goes, he's checking it, and he gets the kill.
So now the offensive win is looking more and more likely, 4-3. Phoenix able to just eke out a nice couple of kills there, get themselves in a good position. Raider and Mr. Serious have to be really careful about this.
Vegas is still not rotating. Why is he still not rotating? Those 2 guys on that objective are right on top of each other. If they go down, which could happen very fast, he is done for. They are up, and here comes the smoke across. They're probably going to try and go in from the south side of the objective, which is their smartest play, really. No, they really don't have the positioning for anyone there.
Yeah, Rushers. Now here's Raiders call out. Squigookin's inside, but the grenade traps. He's able to get out of the way, and the blowing up of Raider happens. Mr. Sirius does find rushers, though, on the refrag, and now Squigookin's got to be quick. He's got to be quick. Finds the kill.
Yeah.
And now it's a 2v1. Vegas finds one, but Phoenix is able to clean him up. Squigookin grabs himself the kill, and Phoenix do take Bazaar 4-2.
Wow. A great map, but I did call it for Phoenix on map 1. But I will say, cannot take anything away from Legionnaires there. They played a great map. I mean, what can you do? It's every round 1 was a Marsoc win. There's no predicting that. I mean, you can normally sit back and think, all right, well, we started on Volk, so that's usually a good thing, especially if you're feeling less confident or a little less strong on a map than your opponent. But no, both teams doing nothing but scoring buckets on each other in those Marsoc rounds. So completely uncommon for us here on the VRML.
Yeah, absolutely. Ignore the War Room paint there. It is not Suburbia yet. We are waiting on the teams to decide on their second map. It feels good for both of us to be right on a cast, you know? That's so nice.
Yeah, I know. For once, it's nice to be right.
The second map is going to be Downfall, however. So this caster's personal favorite. Very excited that these guys decided to play this map, and an interesting choice. I don't remember Phoenix being super jazzed about Downfall. Am I crazy? Am I thinking of a different team?
I don't think Phoenix mind this map.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
I definitely know, you know, I definitely know that Phoenix or Legionnaires love it.
Yeah, Legionnaires are definitely a big fan of this long-range map. Patience definitely pays off on a map like this, and their positioning only gets better and better as they progress through these seasons. So I'm excited to see what they do here. So this would be their pick, and I would expect them to likely... I think they'll take this map. I mean, I said the same thing for Bazaar, but got dang close. I'll say if you win primarily Marsoc rounds, along with your opponent, it's a strong map for you.
Yeah. Oh no, not taking anything away from Legionnaires on that first map. They played it very well. Phoenix just happened to play it a little bit better. I mean, that cap should have realistically never happened, because that's how you know that they had no idea he was there, because so much time passed in that cap on center Kiat from Phoenix that realistically we could be into the next tiebreaker round right now had that not happened, and they've been a little bit more aware on their objective coverage. So, but again, I also like we talked about, I'm not so sure they were aware that cap could even happen from upstairs like that.
Yeah, that is likely the explanation, but we are jumping in to round 1 of this map 2 in this Phoenix Legionnaires series. Phoenix now starting off on defense, and we'll see if the Marsoc win train will keep on rolling as Legionnaires make their approach from the southeast side. We do have that Butcher Shop objective, and I have a feeling it's going to take just a minute or two for there to be really any action here as Legionnaires get set up.
No. Well, in that time, then, let's thank some of the folks at home. I've been seeing so many bits coming in from all of you out there in the audience. Of course, thank you so much for that. We do appreciate those so very much. Also, big shout out to Nullist from, I believe that's Sinister Pride he's from. Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime subscription. Been with us for 2 months now, so thank you so much. Also, big shout out to ProTube VR and VR Cover, partners with us here at the VRML. Their products making just everyday life in VR way more enjoyable. So always be sure to give those guys some props. Go over to their Kickstarter and help fund their Force Tube, for Christ's sakes. Help them put that force feedback technology in the hands of every VR user.
Absolutely. I was able to test that out at OC5, and while it was a prototype and not full functionality, it was real neat, you guys. Real neat. But shots now ringing out towards Kagan's position. Not likely going to be any return fire here.
That sounds like closer.
But now the defense is aware of the positioning. Now, the positioning of Marsoc here, taking a look at the overhead map real quick, is a perfect crescent. They've got a perfect crescent around the objective to set up in exactly the positions they need.
Nope, get back in line. Get back in line. You're moving out of line.
Stop ruining my commentating, Legionnaires. God. So rude. Rushers is going to find
No, it's okay.
Raider crossing at the red truck. And now Legionnaires just down to 4.
Would you say that it is neat or more neato burrito?
It's neato, gang. It's neato.
Neato gang.
It's what I appreciate about Phoenix.
Is that what you appreciate?
That's okay. I'll take about 15 to 20% off there as we wait for rushers. As soon as I look away, of course, as soon as I look away, he finds Mr. Miyagi on that far south ravine hill. And he's got himself 2 already on the map. Should be maybe finding a 3rd. There is another member of the offense approaching here, Mr. Sirius, right out in the open. Very close. Mr. Sirius is aware of his positioning, but he's got to be real careful here. He's about to walk into sort of the hornet's nest of the defense. And I don't think there's too much of a sneak play that can happen here. I think no matter what, they've got to at least kill 1 member of the defense to make the approach. Rushers does find Mr. Sirius. He is up 3 on the map. Gibbs finds Kagan as he makes the approach on the east side, and now it's just up to Vegas. Phoenix systematically dismantling Legionnaires' offense there piece by piece. Rushers finds himself quite a few kills.
You know, this is funny. Vegas is finding all the right holes right now in the defense. He's managed to get all the way up here into the western street on the north side. He's closing in on Squigookin on the ice cream truck. And if he can get to just the right position before he takes out Squigookin, he can actually remain pretty damn invisible as he gets into position to cap. If he can get inside the building, it's basically, it's basically over. I mean, rushers can see down the side of that building if he tries to go up next to the wall, so he will have that to contend with. But, you know, he doesn't have to break that wall necessarily to get the cap. He's crawling right up on Squigookin. He's going to be in a good position. Gibbs is going to have to relocate and try and get in that doorway as quickly as he can if he wants to take the shot. Northwest 2-story call out coming in from Squigookin. Little does he know,
White Tower, north goddamn west.
El Vegas is right there, and Squigookin having some communication issues there with his team, a little frustrated. Vegas finds Squigookin, but the shots have rung out. He's going to have to get up and then back down very quickly. He's going to go inside. He's got Tab out. No, Tab's out now. Here he goes. The code is going in. Will anyone from Phoenix realize? Yes, they do realize. Shots are ringing out. They're trying to push him down. They're trying to suppress him, but no. He can't get the cap. He's gone down prone. And no, he does not find rushers in time. The trade comes out, but Phoenix, with 3 other members still on the board, take the round. And wow, what a clutch stop there by rushers. El Vegas almost able to take that for 2 in a 1v5 clutch.
That would have been a very good start for them on this map. I did, due to an unfortunate bug that has yet to be remedied, I was able to hear Vegas there letting his team know that he was not able to put the correct code in. That was a mistype on his part. And he heard the footsteps, and I had to go into defense mode there, but not quite.
Well played.
Yeah, not quite what they had wanted, but definitely a strong start for Vegas. Man, if he had gotten that knife, like instead of shooting,
that would have been the smarter play. I mean, he played it so smart.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the way he went about it with his rifle was still intelligent enough, but. You're right. Doing it with a knife would have been the best move because then nobody would have even known anything had happened. Though the way that Legionnaires reacted, it seemed that nobody knew anything happened anyway. So,
yeah, it was a very tight maneuver there. I think it was the time it took for them to check tablets and see where the positioning, where they were missing people in what position. To them, get them to rotate again. But yeah, definitely really dangerous situation there, and Vegas almost pulling that off for his team, but Phoenix starting themselves off with the first defensive win of the series so far. The Legionnaires gonna have to hold his defense. Ooh. All right, will we see defenses back and forth now? We've got one set of Marsoc wins all the way across. Now we're looking for all defensive wins.
This map is, well, I hope somebody gets a cap, because we all know how Downfall can tend to play out. I really hope we're not going to see full 6-minute rounds for all 7 rounds.
Oh, but that's what the people want to see. They want to see all this Onward action. There's so much. There's just so much action. This is what I want on my Friday night. I mean, I do this just because I'm too lazy to wait for you guys to pick up casts. That's really why I do casting, is I just want to see more games. We are now...
So you became a caster because you hate how little the casters have.
Exactly. I was just looking to augment.
You heard it here first, everyone. If you hate how little coverage we have, go ahead and become a caster like Noman out of spite.
It's only out of spite. There's no respect here. It's just spite.
No. No. He was actually quite rude to me when I stayed with him just last weekend in San Francisco.
Was
such
the picture
huge
of hospitality, okay?
See, you didn't let me finish my statement. A huge, hospitable person.
Oh, that's what... You got me there.
See?
You got me there. Damn it. Get wrecked, Noman. Now we're seeing the Phoenix off. God, we got to pay attention to this game, Sleepy. Jeez. Now, this approach is
I haven't
actually...
even shot the first...
This approach is... This cast has gone all to crap.
No,
go watch
don't
Trip,
you say that.
because clearly Trip has got it all together. We have seen the same approach style from Phoenix that we saw from Legionnaires. Not quite the same spread, so they are working more in sort of a buddy system.
Yeah, their crescent is terrible.
More like a C, like a weird C. But it is the same basic idea, and it just goes to show that a lot of teams spend a lot of time to refine their strategies, and sometimes you really do just end up coming up with basically the same one as everybody else. I mean, you know what I mean? It's such an interesting thing to see that developed teams that don't necessarily coordinate or work with each other will come up with essentially the same plays for certain objectives. But we'll see if they're able to get a little bit more luck than Vegas did last round and pull out a Marsoc win here and really pull ahead in this series. Now Smoke's coming out on this south side. Statham and Squigookin here deciding on their strategies. Heard a Leroy Jenkins call out there from Officer Statham as he rushed into the smoke. Good reference. They did safely make it across here, but now they're going to have to deal with a couple of real cheeky positions. Vegas up in the brothel watching from the basement door.
That's actually a really good spot. I used to use that spot a lot in defense.
Another set of smokes coming out here as the offense sort of tightens their noose on the approach. Go to the high elevation cam here.
Yeah, nice check grenade thrown out by Phoenix onto the sandbags in the center. Obviously, no defender there to be found, but a good nade and well placed to be able to check that. No other action really on the board as Statham and Squigookin tend to move their way towards the center hotel. And to me, Legionnaires have let their enemy get way too close. I mean, just look at all the real estate Phoenix has been able to take with very little suppression from the enemy. I mean, you've got Officer Statham. He's right there in the center hotel. Now here we go. Here come the smokes. One's coming out from the center. He's probably gonna end up biting at Gibbs, that being the person I'm speaking of, but he's just well out in the open. Vegas is gonna find pause as he rotates.
Yeah, he does find him at the West Red truck as the call out came out there when I snapped to him. They are gonna get, I was just gonna say they're gonna get rushers onto that north side, but no, Mr. Sirius is gonna shut down that approach, and now the north side is all but gone. It's up to Statham, Squigookin, and Gibbs here, who are all in a very close proximity to this objective. Yeah, his feet are in there. They're
Yeah,
toasty.
I heard him take a hit already from the flame. Is he going to be able to get this? Here he goes. He's going to try it. He's already got Tablet out. If he can stay under the ridge line there, he might be able to squeeze by Mr. Miyagi. Here goes the prone. Oh, no, it's just how low he is. Mr. Miyagi's definitely going to see him. Yep, there come the shots. They do find Gibbs, and now it's all up to the last two members, Statham and Squigookin. They hear the shots from the South Brothel. They're going to be checking that, but they're not going to have the angle on it. Vegas is in a good spot to be able to watch that objective over. They're going to need to take out the guy in the basement of the two-story objective building, though. A nice grenade parked up a little too far. Almost found Squigookin on the rooftop. But
Yeah,
now
that could have been quite a delicious airburst if he'd just timed it a little bit earlier, but they're going to escape with their lives, and now they need to find a way out of this center hotel building. At least one of their positions is given away. I don't know that they know that there's two in this building necessarily, but they're going to have to find a way past Vegas's position, which is very strong for watching this hillside approach. Statham is watching that corridor.
What is Statham doing?
Vegas finds Squigookin. Now Statham is very much aware of his positioning, but he's going to turn his back.
He's going to rush Vegas. That's an interesting way to deal with the defender, and it does not work out for him. Vegas takes down Statham, and Legionnaires grab their defensive round. We go tied up 1-1 here on map number 2.
Yeah, definitely an interesting strategy for the final push, but I will say they were out of equipment at that point because they had used it all to get in from the south. And really, what play do you have when you're out of equipment? You have to cross an open field, and you've got defenders cutting you off from two sides. I mean, they really needed that north side to develop before they made any kind of push, and I think that making that crawl with your tablet out in the open field without any smokes is just asking to die. So I think a little bit of a sort of a lack of coordination there was what caused Phoenix to lose that round. They were looking pretty good up until those last two pushes. But now we will see what happens. For this next round, Legionnaires now on offense in round 3. And they're going to be defending this dumpster building objective. Right there. They're going to be getting the north spawn all the way up here in the northeast, and we'll see what kind of approach they take. I love this objective. I love how people approach this objective. And I love how the defense takes their positions and where they like to get set up and how close they like to play it, because you know, there's something to be said for an objective like this where you have a huge degree of separation between the offense and the defense, where they're not able to spot each other for quite some time. You can really get creative with the positioning. Obviously, the defense not always aware of what that spawn might be, but some teams will take the risk anyway, and a lot of times it will pay off. So we'll see what happens here. They do. Phoenix does have one member of the defense on the ridgeline there. That is Squigookin in the far south, but he is the only one off objective. And honestly, for this objective, having that person covering the east is absolutely crucial, because if you can get your entire team around to the south side of that objective, it becomes a war on all fronts for the defense. And
yeah, but Squigookin's going to need to be careful because Vegas is slowly sliding his way across the eastern ridge line here towards the south. And I believe he already did see Squigookin because he is calling out on the radio something about a hill guy and going back. So he's obviously seen someone there. He should be able to see him now. Yep, he does see it. He gives the call out, and Squigookin is going to be in a world of hurt here very shortly because Vegas is going to have complete eyes on his position and be able to take him down from an elevated spot far east.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous position to hold. Nice little set of trades coming out there. Statham finding Miyagi, Kagan picking up rushers. Sorry about that. Kagan now taking shots out onto the center hotel. He's not going to find Statham, but if he does decide to unload a few rounds in there, Might be able to grab him, and there's Vegas picking up Squigookin on that Marsoc hill, but the callouts are going to be ringing out. He is only down. To make sure they get that confirmed. There's the confirm. Vegas and Sirius now able to take control of this southeast side of the map. The defense is definitely going to be in trouble here. The offense is all set up here on the west side. Raider and Kagan both still keeping their eyes on this center hotel position. And that's really their main blocker here.
Oh man, the guys in the southeast are going to be able to do so much damage. Gibbs is trying to find a position to better halt them as they come down from that ridge, but he really isn't going to have the option until they're too close, and they'll be more of a threat to him. We could be seeing a Legionnaires cap here if played correctly.
Yeah, the approach is going to have to be uniform. They have to
Yep.
get past Officer Statham at the same time as the southeast pushes. Smoke is coming down onto White Tower, so I think they're assuming there would be somebody up there. And now some shots ringing out from Paz onto Raiders' position. Kagan pushing the center hotel to try to clear Officer Statham. And if they can do that, they are definitely in prime cap position here. Keeping eyes, but Officer Statham keeping a cool hand, and he's got the knife out. He finds the knife kill on Kagan, and it's very smooth and very clean as he grabs himself a member of the offense, and now it's a 3v3.
Oh, look. Oh, Vegas is on the objective.
I went to your old camera. So now I'm nowhere near the action. Gibbs finds Mr. Sirius as he makes his approach over that south hill. So that approach did not work out. Now Legionnaires' offense falling apart very quickly.
I don't know. A Raider, I think, could totally, like... Never mind. Every time I say one of their names, they die. Jeez, I better be careful.
Yeah, now Phoenix able to find themselves another defensive round.
Question mark?
Yeah, no, I just had to make sure, you know. Never know. Never know with this game sometimes. They are able to find themselves another defensive round, shutting down another almost El Vegas cap. Somebody's got to keep their eyes on him. Jeez.
Very close, yeah.
Come on. Guy is just all over the place today.
Legionnaires have been getting close so many times in this matchup today, but they have not been able to get the cap any of the times that they've been close. That's got to be frustrating, you know, especially with your enemy being able to pull out a cap there in Bazaar. You want to pull one out, especially here on Downfall, because it's nice to have that 2-point advantage, or even just a 1-point advantage going into a defensive round to maybe clinch the map. Always a good feeling, but yeah, Legionnaires is not able to close that deal. Vegas, stay away from the poker tables this weekend, bud. It's not boding well for you right now with the luck.
It's not in the cards, as they say.
Ooh, yeah. Vegas joke.
It is. Just for you, Vegas. Custom callouts, just for you, buddy. Now, they have been playing great so far. Both teams doing real well. Like I said, this is looking like it's just going to be a series of defensive rounds, but everybody's sort of finding that little ace in the hole, finding that that hole in the defense and exploiting it, and getting real close on both sides. So I think we'll see if Phoenix is able to pull something out on this same objective. And we're going to be seeing that right now, because round 4 is kicking off. It's kicking off with a quick spawn, ladies and gentlemen. See what Phoenix is able to do here. This is always an exciting approach to this objective. Phoenix, to me, feels like a team that's just going to take the direct route, try to do as much damage as possible. That spawn is given away with the pre-fire. And the grenade comes out, going to land a little bit shy of the center hotel. Not going to find anybody there, but it doesn't matter. Legionnaires not leaving the objective. Gibbs does down Meowgi, but Raider finds Gibbs in that window. Nice little pickup by that fence. Now Phoenix owns this center hotel. They've got all of the Overwatch in the world. They just have to be careful with how they utilize it. Comes the smoke onto the objective from center hotel. Series of smokes setting up, hopefully an approach. There's 3 of them in the center hotel. Not sure who's going to be using that smoke to approach, but that grenade almost finds Vegas just on the corner there, and Mr. Sirius will unfortunately completely take Raider out of the equation with that check nade in the smoke. Can't really blame him for that one. That is probably where I would have thrown a smoke as well, to make sure nobody's already made their way up inside of it, especially that the defense doesn't own the center hotel. Rushers does find Meowgi. Mr. Sirius finds Paz, and a quick refrag from Statham finds Mr. Sirius, and now it's just 2 members of the defense. Vegas and Kagan looking to stop this cap.
Well, the front of the objective is just wide open. Vegas, the only stop there from them just being able to walk right up to it and take it from them. Can Phoenix do it? Do they even know where Vegas is? Squigookin should be able to...
First person view is killing me, but Vegas... I wanted to do it from Vegas's eyes, but that hollow scope is taking up a big part of the screen, so we'll just do an over-the-shoulder watch. He is going to be the first line of defense. I can't imagine Kagan's going to be rotating anytime soon, as he is likely expecting that backside rush. Or, sorry, that backside flank. Not rush. There's no rush. Rushers is he dead? He's alive. Rushers is alive. Okay. I'm gonna say the rush is dead, but it's not, because he's still alive.
The rush is alive as long as Rushers is alive, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. You heard it here first. It's all gonna come down to whether or not they can make this cross.
Smart smokes, and this is over.
They just utilized 4 smokes.
To what? Get to the center hotel?
Well, they threw them at the objective for seemingly no reason. There was nobody going towards it, although it did cause a confused grenade to kill a defender that they don't know about.
Could explain the lack of attention.
Now the shot's ringing out. He does find both. Vegas stops that push on the west road, and now the call-out's going to come out from Statham for Vegas's position. So Squigookin is going to have the information he needs.
Oh, Squig had a frag. Just a nice frag. It's all over. You'll either have to force Kagan to rotate.
If I only had a frag. Thank you. Yeah, Squig is going to be... Oh, he might be making this fatal mistake. Maybe Statham isn't able to spot out his decision. He might be going for the res here. Oh, could this...
Statham should be able to see this. Yeah, he's... No, Squig is definitely not firing on Vegas's position.
And the kill comes out onto Statham, but Squigookin's going to stay alive and make it across. This could be dangerous. This could be really dangerous. Vegas is no longer able to spot this out.
Oh yeah, if Squig stays prone, he's definitely not going to be seen. Yeah, he's got defilade from Vegas up on that ridge line. The elevation is going to end up causing Vegas to lose this one. But Squig hasn't pulled his tab yet. And if he does it now, Kagan's definitely going to hear it, which could cause Vegas to come rushing in. Here it goes. Oh, wait, no, I forgot the new mechanic. You can actually take it out slowly enough to not make any noise. And Squig has done exactly that. Here comes the cap. Squigookin gonna take 2 more for Phoenix. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. They go up 2 more, and Phoenix takes map number 2, 4-1.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The series goes to Phoenix in just 2 maps with a very nice cap there by Squigookin. And I mean, that was just situational happenstance. Like, it's hard to blame Vegas, right? Because he got the kill. He got the kill he thought he was, that he was shooting for. He thought Squig had died, but really it was
the one he
had just rezzed. So, you know, with that sort of perspective trickery, they were able to just get by on what is essentially a stroke of luck. But I will say this:
That was
if you've
some
seen
straight up squigception right there.
if you've seen the offense even make it to try to get a res on that side of the wall, and you don't have eyes on it, and you don't send a defender to it, you're playing with fire.
If I can't see every inch of ground surrounding the capable area of an objective, I am going straight towards it until I can. That's just how I play. I'm not, I mean, granted, yes, everyone knows the old famous story of Sleepy falling asleep on an objective on downfall, but like, that's how uncomfortable I am with just simply not being able to see the area around the uplink, let alone just sit there 20 meters away hoping that nobody got by me.
Yeah, absolutely. But we are now going to be seeing Suburbia as the map choice for map 3. We are going to play out that third map for the MMR points, those sweet, sweet MMR points. The team's now getting set up to play this last round. But yeah, that was quite a harrowing series there, and you know, it was the first non-defensive win for that map. It was very good. It was a very good series. We'll see what Legionnaires can do here on Suburbia. This is definitely sort of the Phoenix stomping grounds as of late. So they're going to have a bit of an uphill battle. Legionnaires starting off on defense might get an opportunity to grab themselves a map before the series is over. See exactly what happened when both teams ready up, but I do want to thank everybody again in the chat for coming to hang out with us for this series, and you know, dropping those biddies and making those clips happen. So many good clips in there. Thank you guys for that. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Friday. Hope Trip's cast is going equally as well if you're watching that through the multicast that Trip put in, or you know, you just stick with us. You're tried and true. I'm kidding, Trip. Don't fight me. But now we are getting into round 1 of this third map. Suburbia. See, they got the tank defense that they have to work through. Phoenix making a very aggressive push. We're already seeing smokes come out here in the middle from both sides. A nice little check nade coming out towards the carport. Not going to find Vegas, who is tucked in. It's interesting. 3 members of the defense on their bellies. 1 crouch, 1 standing.
Well, I mean, that's mostly because Vegas has been away for a while. Otherwise, you'd probably see all 5 of them. Oh, and Gibbs with a nice over-the-house grenade on lane 1 finds Mr. Sirius. He's down. The only thing he'll be able to do is give a call out just simply to that fact. Rushers is going to find another down onto Raider with another frag. Legion or Phoenix doing work here on Suburbia with their frags. This is obviously something that this team has practiced.
Yeah, it does look like tape study happened. Miyagi is going to find Gibbs there on lane 2. Oz rushing into this center house. Now has to be worried about Vegas right on the inside. They're just inches away from each other here.
Vegas doesn't even hear it.
Yeah, Vegas the road to really do anything about it. He hears the shots, but still doesn't pop up to take it and gets punished as a result. Rusher's gonna down Vegas in that corner after he misses the shots on him. Hagen does find Officer Statham there. Rusher's with a quick refrag.
This could be Phoenix capping again. Miyagi the only standing defender. And with the right smokes, here comes Rushers. He's pushing out right as Mr. Miyagi goes to engage the offender on the objective there, and Rushers is now. Oh, it's coming. He's already there. Here it is, and Phoenix. No, Squigookin will kill Miyagi and kill the cap. Rushers a little upset, and Squigookin apologizing to his teammate. But overall, a great play there from Phoenix. Some great coordinated timing. Rusher's push on that distraction was just A1 perfect there.
Sorry, I just find that so funny. He's standing behind him, watching him.
Yeah.
tap, and then
He's in
he
visual range. It's not like he was in downfall on the other side of the map. Squigookin, he wasn't that far away, you big lovable oaf.
Oh, great stuff. It's so fun to see that kind of you get, you know, it's VR, they have set faces, it's all avatars, but you could see the look he was giving him, like, really, dude? I'm right here. Very funny stuff. But yeah, Legionnaires getting saved by the Phoenix there. Not allowing a cap to happen, but they do not win that defensive round. Phoenix picks that up on offense, and now they're looking to stage their defensive series for the same objective.
Yeah, Squigookin really doing a great job for Legionnaires there in that last round, stopping the cap for Phoenix.
Indeed. Now we are getting into round 2, and we'll see what kind of shenanigans Legionnaires will get up to as they make their approach for this objective.
I deserve it. I probably stole one of yours. I had it
Seeing
down for 5 years.
2 sets of C4 here, so I got to keep my eyes. I got to keep my eyes all over the battlefield here, make sure I know where all these C4s are going. Looks like Paz is going to be going for that quick C4. Oh, he's right on the inside of the door here. Vegas is going to likely catch him out on the backside here. He does indeed, and Paz goes down. Not going to be able to utilize that C4 on the approach. Nice little nade coming out from Squig. Not going to find him, but he just doesn't have the corner to find Vegas. And that could spell trouble for these guys. A very nice little nade. We caught in the corner there, the confirm. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst when that happens. Yeah. Always hate it when that happens.
I used to hate that in Battlefield back before I started VR gaming. When you get killed as you pulled the pin and it drops at your feet, and you're like,
yeah,
son of a.
Follow all of these grenades. I've already half missed 3 of them. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to be chasing nades around the map. Yep, there's another one. Oh, that's a smoke. Okay, I was like, man, these guys are just...
Mine?
They're just messing with me now. Shots bringing out from Gibbs towards that shield in lane 4.
Oh, Statham is going to rush. Oh, no, he's going to rush into the house right by Vegas, who's just worming his way through the front yard. Will Statham see him when he goes upstairs. Ooh, Mr. Serious tries to get a little serious too quickly.
Oh, Vegas misses the shots, though.
Oh, but Mr. Miyagi made it across. He's got Tablet out. He's on the other side of the tank. Nobody's aware of it. Here he goes. The toes going in. Here we are. The Tablet's out. Will Miyagi get it? Yes, he does. Legionnaires get the pick, get the cap, and they take 2 to go into the lead here on map number 3.
A great set of offensive moves there. The distraction shield in lane 4 causing some defenders to expose their positions, and then some really neat little positioning. They kind of just kept sending people towards the objective and figuring out where defenders were, and working based off of that. But yeah, that was a great play there by Legionnaires to get themselves that cap and get on the board here in map 3. Now they'll be looking to defend the center house objective. Ooh, that is going to be a rough one.
It is, but we can also see some crazy plays come out here and really shake things up. This is an excellent objective for that kind of thing. We see some very, very... If any objective will show you some real talent and coordination, it's this one, because your attackers are going to have that finite, choke point that they have to get up, which is the center steps in the house itself. The defenders, while they could just pile everyone in the house, they could also just be asking to have them all taken out by a single grenade, so that's not always a smart choice either. You can see it played fast, you can see it play slow. This objective is just so versatile, it's amazing for something that's just really so simple. I mean, it's an objective kind of midway in the map. Yeah, both teams start on one side. It doesn't get almost more formulaic, but it's probably one of the most exciting objectives that we can watch.
Absolutely. I'm very interested to see Phoenix's approach here. feel like everybody's always coming up with a new one for this objective. You always got to keep your eyes on it. And I think we're going to get our eyes on here very soon. We now cut into round 3, Suburbia, map 3. Phoenix already taking the series, but Legionnaires looking to take this last map to save themselves a little bit of MMR. It's definitely high stakes when you're up in this top 10. One loss by a large enough margin could really send you tumbling back down the rankings. And this late in the season, that's not what you want.
Yeah, this is basically the second to last regular season week, I believe, or third to last regular season week we have before we start getting into the wild cards and all the open qualifiers and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, I do believe you're right. I think it is just about 2 weeks left in the regular season, and then the postseason will begin. Always an exciting time. Mr. Serious going to get punished here by Squigookin. Not exactly sure what he's doing here. Cooking a nade.
Cooking a grenade. Oh, and a waste now. Did not get the kill, and he's going to die because of it. Oh, you should have just... you know what? I give it to Squigookin. That was very honorable of him. He didn't want to take the kill through the wall like that.
I love that. I love that. That's, you know what? Die with honor. That's the way you go about it.
Yeah. You know what? Don't even be upset, Squigookin. I mean, yes, you flubbed that grenade that you were trying to be cheeky with, so that's your own fault for dying. But because you didn't choose to shoot or knife the feet of that guy who was sticking through the wall, you can take that death with honor, sir. You can take that one off your record on us.
He's my player of the week this week. He's my personal. He's Noman's player of the week.
That is play of the week for next week's V Respawn episode, and he didn't even kill anyone.
It's an accolade that means absolutely nothing. It's just that I liked it. So we did see a couple of members of Phoenix go down already. One lost on lane 4 there to Vegas, I believe, and now Meowsy and Oz are going to trade inside the objective building, leaving Raider the only one inside the building. Shots coming out through the smoke just to make sure no one's in there. Very safe bet. Now the rotation by rushers trying to stay them up. Maybe a gamble, but I think it's going to work out just fine as the defenders are focused on that center house, likely as a result of those bullets being fired. Now we'll see what approach Phoenix has. Legionnaires has the advantage here by man, but so far that has not meant a whole lot. Rushers evening that up as I say it. Dropping Kagan from the playground. He is still revivable, so the callouts are available, but now Vegas coming down to get that res is going to get punished, and that man advantage is gone.
Yeah, they snagged him on a quick peek, too. He just whipped around the corner, and wow, they find Raider upstairs as well. He must have gotten a little too curious, and Phoenix even things right back up. And now Legionnaires are going to be forced to cap and take the win, or, well, just win the next round, I guess, because, yep.
That is, I mean, right as I'm talking about man advantage and, you know, like, this is going to work out for them, etc., and here, this happens. A great play there by Rushers, basically solo clutching that round. Very well done. And Legionnaires not able to hold up that defensive round that could have sent them quickly into a map win, and now the scoreline gets tighter and the MMR loss potentially is not as soft as it could have been.
I don't think they'll lose much. The teams are, what'd we say? They were 7 and 8?
7 and 8 in the worldwide standings. I mean,
it probably
it's a relative amount. Obviously, when we talk about it, it's just place in standings, but I'm talking about the literal numeric value, right? They're both 1250, but in the 1250 range, they are assigned a particular number, right? 1252,
right.
1257. So
right.
They have the potential to actually lose, you know, more of those values that we don't normally see, which could be a problem when they make their climb back up in the next 2 weeks, right? That's sort of what I'm alluding to. It's not necessarily standings, just those little bits and bobs that you need to try to get as much.
Yeah, I
birth
was
in
gonna
this
get
game.
angry for you for explaining to me how the MMR system works as a moderator, but then I figured, you know, anyone who doesn't know how it works at home.
Oh, you finally figured out what streaming is for. Glad, Sleepy. Yes, it is for the folks at home who may not know that there is an underlying set of numbers that we don't normally see, but I'm glad I've offended Sleepy heartily in this cast. Mission accomplished. C4 are going to be coming out there. A little bit too visual, but Rusher is going to find himself 2 nice little kills there in lane 2 as they get slowed up.
Here's a follow-up.
And there is the confirm on Kagan, and 2 members of the offense are down and out very quickly in this round. Raider and Mr. Sirius in that back of the center house. Gonna have a tough time now without the reinforcement of the shield. Raider's gonna be looking for Squigookin here, but he's already gonna be set up. He moves away just in time to avoid the shots.
How was Squig not even trying to go for that refrag now? He had to have heard those shots. What?
I don't think he saw him. Rushers finds Mr. Sirius on the backside. He's running a long flank here. I'm just gonna ignore Squigookin here.
Alright, I'll call it when it gets. Ooh, here we go. Raider pushing up onto Squigookin. He's gonna catch him in the back here. Yep, he sees him. Takes the shots, and there's the kill. He gets a good position. Now he finds Leroy as well. He could find Officer Statham here on the front porch. No, he's gonna stop in the middle of the open. He was just standing behind a Jersey barrier, but no, he decides to walk around that and reload in the front yard.
Those smokes are gonna be good though.
Oh yeah, great smokes here. Really good ones that you want to use
Aside
in
from that
this
last
objective
one.
especially.
That one was not,
Yeah,
that last
well, he
one
couldn't
not
help
great.
that it didn't roll off the roof.
And now
He
he
does
is,
see Statham, but the bulletproof office or outside furniture.
that is quality craftsmanship there, folks, as neither player able to find a kill through the patio furniture on Suburbia. Now Raider looking to make his rush upstairs. He does find rushers. He turns the corner. He doesn't find Paz. Paz shuts down that approach, and he almost single-handedly wipes out the entirety of the Phoenix defense. And now the team kill comes out. It's just a down. The res needs to come out. They have got all the time in the world as Vegas is crawling his way along the chain link fence.
Just doing Vegas things.
He's just Vegas being Vegas, you know.
Sneaky little slidey little snake.
Just sneak a snake in it over here. The revive does come out. No worries there. We're just gonna be all up in Vegas's grill here as he makes his approach.
I can't even make my camera go that slow.
No, it's not possible. The technology's not there yet, Sleepy. Cameras cannot go at Vegas speeds just yet. But you can be sure that we as your VRML casters are working to make that a reality. Alright, the crab is making his way towards that center house. Back into the prone position. He wants to build tension for the viewers. I definitely can respect that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's his intention.
That's what I choose to believe. It's a very important distinction. He is
Whatever
not-
goes on inside your La La Land, Noman, I guess we'll all just have to deal with.
The only way I can make it through the day, Sleepy. It's 50-50 there. And here...
A little column A, little column B.
Little más o menos. We're getting loopy, folks. It's been a long series. And Vegas is making it all that much longer for his approach, but now he is inside this.
Bienvenidos a Onward Master League.
Probably know that it doesn't matter. I'm not going to critique your Spanish on stream. Now
Don't
Vegas,
critique my Spanish at all, because I don't speak Spanish.
the shield is now set up upstairs, so Vegas has already got one major problem to deal with here. He puts a couple of shots down on it. Not going to land. A discussion between
Funny bunny.
a little greeting there, and Vegas is choosing to go elsewhere.
How are you now?
He's done. He doesn't want to be here anymore.
He's good in you.
He's I think he picked up a frag. I think that's what he did. Or a smoke? Yeah, smoke. And he runs into a bullet. And then
He just picked up a bullet in his face is what he picked up. Phoenix with the win. They take the map. When they take the map up to 3-2, it's not over yet. Don't listen to me because I'm a little bit loopy.
yeah, the series is still going. Legionnaires now looking to take their defensive crack here and keep the score line even. If they can grab this defensive round, they'll have to find an offensive win, and it's going to likely be on... Yeah, it's definitely going to be on this white car objective in the north, which is very, very tricky. It's a tricky objective to attack, and
Tricky.
I have seen Legionnaires bust out some very good strats for these two north objectives in the past. Lots of smokes, interesting crosses. Definitely got to be on the lookout for Vegas's crawl when you're playing this, especially on Suburbia. It's very cover heavy on both sides of the street, so if he's able to just get past these little windows, he can really wreak havoc on your defense. So we'll see what their defense does, and then we'll see if Vegas even gets a chance to do something like that along with his team in this final map of the series. Head on over to gameplay for round 5. As the Legionnaires get set up.
Almost.
A bit of messing around there from the Legionnaires side. It's always important to keep your spirits up in these games. Haven't been saying that enough this cast, but keeping it lighthearted and fun is what we try to do here in the league. Happy to see the Legionnaires enjoying themselves despite fortunate, you know what, a hard-fought loss. I will say that. It has been a very good series.
Yeah, no, this is another one of those matches where the scoreboard will kind of lie to you in regards to how the match really went. Both teams been playing very, very well. Legionnaires, even though they are struggling to get their map wins, they are getting some great rounds in and a lot of cap attempts out from Legionnaires. Even if they don't always get it, they are getting right there to the objective. Rushers with a nice pick and a nade almost instantly refrags Sirius. Trying to come around the corner, but he's going to find himself a firing squad that's ready and waiting. They found 2 now. Legionnaires already in trouble here on the defense. Now Gibbs has found Vegas. That's another member of the defense right on top of the objective who's gone down. Kagan is sitting right out in the open. Again, I'm not understanding Kagan's thought process here. It's the second time he's just been kind of hanging out in the open, and I don't understand it at all. Very lucky he's moved there because that last volley of shots could have definitely taken him out.
Shots ringing out now. Kagan looking for Gibbs. He's rushing this corner, and the trade's going to come out. Kagan is alive, but it doesn't matter. Squigookin finds Raider in that position behind the house, and Phoenix is going to take that final map. Suburbia 4-2 away from Legionnaires. The final score of the series, 12-5. Legionnaires putting up a hell of a fight despite that scoreline. And that is the series, folks. Sleepy, what are your thoughts on that matchup?
That matchup was great from top to bottom. I mean, Phoenix did take map 1 as I had called. That was just me kind of knowing both teams. It was really up in the air as far as the whole series goes, but Phoenix proves why they were able to stay in their position on top of Legionnaires in the standings, and of course tonight. But Legionnaires should not hang their heads low. They did play such a great game. Again, we were just talking about it while that last round ended. There's so many attempts on the caps tonight from Legionnaires. They were able to get in there, just not, unfortunately, able to get one. But yeah, I mean, again, another case where the scoreline will not tell you the story of the map or of the match. You'll need to watch it back. Just a great game, and I'm glad we picked it up, Noman. I mean, there's nothing really more I can say about that. I'm happy I picked this one up.
Yeah, definitely a great series. Well played on both sides. But that is going to do it from the casting desk here today at the Onward VR Master League. Don't forget, check out the Discord channel and the VRML website if you're interested in becoming a player or a reservist, or just getting interested in the league in general. Thanks again to our sponsors, VR Cover and ProTube VR. And I think that's going to be it. We'll be signing off. Noman with a 4, Sleepy with 2 3s, your casters for the day. Everybody, have yourselves a fantastic evening.
Good night, everyone.